berserker. Show them. Change the station with a new shit. Show them. Change the station with a new shit. Change the station. Change the station. Change the station with a new shit. With a new shit. Change the station. Change the station. Change the station with a new shit. With a new shit. It's murder. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. 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 I killed it. I killed it. I killed it, it's murder. Show them. Change the station with a new shit. Show them. Change the station with a new shit. Change the station. Change the station. Change the station with a new shit. With a new shit. Change the station. Change the station. Change the station with a new shit. With a new shit. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker.
Wait, for real? So, do we just have a lot of people that are like lower than that class? Like,
What are you on about?
okay, so I know why there's not a lot of people in here. There's a license limit or whatever that they should have posted and it's carried on. I didn't even realize.
What's the license?
Hello, race fans, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Lucas Oil Raceway. For the Lucas Oil 250, here for the Drive for Suicide Preventions. This is race number 7 of their season, and they do have an announcement to give not only me, but to everybody who watches the streams and the races and the broadcast and all that sort of stuff, and follow these guys regularly, and so on and so forth. So tonight we're set to have quite an amazing short track race. The last time we saw a great short track race was at Bristol, and it looks like we're gonna get that same amount of amazing action tonight. And that reminds me, I forgot to get in the broadcast channel, so I'll quickly do that. Because I forgot all about it until just about now. Alright. And it looks like I gotta switch sessions here, so go ahead and bring it back to, we'll take a quick intermission. We'll be back in a moment. Alright guys, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to make another attempt at this. Let's go ahead and pull up everything that we got here. Still got a minute before, because William wanted 10 people to join in before the race starts, and everybody's going to have 7 minutes to get into this race because they can join in through qualifying. So, like I was saying, we will have a special announcement near the end of the broadcast here once we get done with the action here. So we got 50 seconds left till we get to qualifying, which will lead more people into joining this race. We had a ton of drivers in the first practice session. Now we're just waiting for this one to get the same amount of drivers, everybody to sneak on their way into the other session here. Because there was a mistake being made, and it happens. It happens. Even the best leagues will make a mistake on their league hosted session setup. So it happens. Now tonight we'll be at Lucas Oil, and we'll see what happens. This was supposed to be the Charlotte All-Star race, which I figured was going to happen, but they switched it to Lucas Oil, and I never got to change. They switched it ever since last week, you know, instead of Charlotte the All-Star race, but I accidentally kept it the All-Star race on the stream title until a couple nights ago. So we gotta wait another 5 minutes before we get until we get set up for this race, ladies and gentlemen. 150 laps around this less than a mile short track. And this is actually one of the closest tracks near me. So this is basically like a home track. Too bad I'm not good at it. Drivers coming out on the track, setting some qualifying times. Going to set up a thing again. We'll see where, because there's a lot of drivers here that have a lot of short track talent, and a lot of drivers that, you know, could improve on their short tracks. So this is definitely a track to do it. This is probably one of the easiest short tracks to master. It's basically the same as Bristol in this sense of speed and how the car feels and all that sort of stuff, but at the same time, the cars will become massively tight once the runs go through and all that sort of stuff. Now keep in mind that since this is one of the busiest weeks on my channel, tomorrow will be throwback race reactions to the 2004 Winn-Dixie 250. I did a couple of those throwback races last year, but I stopped doing them because I was live streaming NFL reactions and I got copyrighted striked. That didn't work, so yeah. Note to self, don't play the audio too loud whenever you're watching something. Technically, that's still copyrighted. But NASCAR is not too strict on their copyright rules because there's a lot of full races uploaded to their on the channels. The only issue that I'll probably run into is whoever uploads them, because I don't worry, I will give credit, but I'm just reacting to the races. But enough about my channel. Let's go and focus on what's happening tonight at this short track here. Matt Grunberg he's won every race so far this season except for 2, and last week at Eldora was the first race that he did not have a win at, and the other one was at Daytona. Maybe tonight could be the other night that somebody could take the win away from Matt Grunberg, since he is one of the most dominant drivers of this league. Less than a minute left in the qualifying. Tons of drivers still making some laps, last minute lap times. 11 trucks setting to take the field tonight here at Lucas Oil, ladies and gentlemen. Jordan McEvoy having a 100th of a second pole time over Todd Guest, Kyle Frey, and Jeff Gross in 4th. Michael Budd will round out the top 5. William Krazusa in 6th, Brett Jones in 7th, and that'll be the last of the drivers that took any sort of laps around this track. 10 seconds left on the clock, and it looks like we'll get ready to get set to go racing here. Field has been set. We'll go ahead and quick grid up because I basically went through everybody here, but we'll go through it one last time to be on the safe side here. So, here we go. On the pole for today's race, Jordan McEvoy in the 21. Starting next to him in second place would be Todd Gus in the 4 truck. In row number 2, Kyle Frey and Jeff Gross. 5th place, rounding out the top 5 in row number 3, Michael Budd. And in 6th place, William Krazuska. 7th place, Brett Jones. 8th place, and the first driver to not set a lap time in qualifying, Matt Grunberg. 9th place, Dylan Gooden. 10th place, Cody McGorkle. And in the final position of tonight's race, Artie Peterson Jr. So we will get set to go racing here, ladies and gentlemen. It'll definitely be quite the action tonight because, like I said, we are going to have 150 laps. And this is going to be one of those races, ladies and gentlemen, that'll test a lot of drivers' short track abilities and how well they can handle small tracks with small spaces. Because on this track, the bottom line is not the preferred line, nor is it really a line at all to run. The line to run in this track is the middle high line. You got to run up to the wall. You got to Larson line it all the way through the track, basically. And that's what it's going to be like all day today. We're going to be seeing drivers push up the track a lot because they're wanting to get the edge out of the drivers that are using that wall line basically to their advantage. And we'll see what happens once we get rolling off here. What will we expect from these drivers early on in the run? Will they be aggressive? Will they go hard? Will they take it nice and conservative because there's 150 laps and there's not a lot of drivers in today's race? We are expected a couple cautions, but once drivers start losing control of the car, getting damaged, drivers retire from the race and go back to the back of the field or whatnot, then we'll get to see probably one of the most calmest. This is probably surprisingly going to be the calmest race of the season. And you thought Las Vegas was calm. We may see it here tonight because there is less than half of what we usually expect to see tonight. Only 11 drivers entered in tonight's race. Doesn't sound like a lot, but doesn't take a lot of drivers to make a quality race. We're going to probably see that tonight. 11 talented drivers tonight here at Lucas Oil Raceway. An easy track to make mistakes, but if you're known for not making too many mistakes, won't be a big issue for you at all. We're gonna get set to go racing here. Quite intense for these first few laps here. So we'll go ahead and take it to the green flag here. Pace car is off. Jordan McEvoy gonna lead them off to the green flag. Still waiting for the race control to give it. There it is. Green flags in the air. We're racing here at Lucas Oil. Actually, it's 100 laps. I thought. All right, 100 laps. My mistake. It's my mistake. Jordan McEvoy with a nice lead over Todd Guess. Todd Guess almost looking to the inside. He lost a ton of time right there, and he almost got taken 3 wide there. And speaking of that, Dylan Good, it almost took Cody McGorkle and Michael Budd 3 wide in turn number 3, but they kept it straight, side by side action here. Kyle Poker Free and Todd Guess battling for this second spot here. It's pretty tight action racing here throughout the track so far. Grunberg sitting in 10th place, and Artie Peterson Jr. right behind him at 11th. Jordan McEvoy hanging on to the lead, not by a long shot though. Only 5/10 of a second lead over Todd Guess. And we'll go ahead and we'll basically show you how to basically run this entire track. We'll take a lap around the track with our current leader of Jordan McEvoy. Take a lap around, see how you can really master Lucas Oil, what lines you can run and all that sort of stuff. It's a lot of off throttle time. That's pretty much all you could say about Lucas Oil. It's not a lot of throttle time and mostly off throttle time. And this explains a lot of other short tracks and some 1.5 miles for some cars in the trucks basically. Todd Guess is really close to making it. Really close to. Oh, he's on the wall. About to say he cut down that lead by less than 0.3 of a second. But as soon as that happened, he quickly dropped back to over half a second. Now Poker Free still looking to the inside. The inside line is not really the preferred line when it comes to passing here. Well, you just gotta figure out where the car will run and where it'll take you in these lanes. You saw it with Jordan. He almost ran straight up into the wall. You could throw it in these corners, but if you're not good with keeping it off the wall, it's not recommended to do that. So this battle for second is one of the closest battles up front. You can just see Kyle in the 7 truck, he's struggling quite a bit to get around that 4 truck. He can't find a lane because that bottom lane is just not the preferred lane because there's not a lot of marbles down there. And if there's not a lot of marbles, then there's not a lot of grip. And when you don't have much grip, you end up losing it, just what Todd Guess did. The only way you're going to make that bottom line work is with stuff like that, what just happened to Todd Guess. But even then, it's still difficult to pass him because Kyle Poker was still struggling to get by that 4 truck even after that 4 truck slammed that wall into turn number 1. What all that does is just give Jordan a big chance to gain up time and all that sort of stuff. Williams scrapes the wall a little bit. He lost a ton of time. Oh, spinner. I think Kyle spun it. He saved it. He saves it, but he lost second place. He lost a lot of spots. He's dropped back to the back half of the field. That's what happens when you just can't run the correct lane. You end up losing it. Like I said, the truck will get tight on long runs, but it doesn't mean that it won't get loose. Now we're starting to see the bottom line become more of a factor. You saw Todd just use it to gain up a little bit of time. However, he's still more than a second and a half over Jordan here in first place. Todd is just hanging on, but he's really not going to be able to catch Jordan unless he makes a pretty major mistake. Oh, he did right there, hit the wall a little bit. But I don't know if Todd could really capitalize on it. Doesn't look like he can. Jordan is keeping the lead to more than a second and a half, 2 seconds. He's hanging on even after brushing the wall like he did last time by, and nearly does it this time by. He's still managing to keep the gap between over a second and a half. Yeah, the gaps between first, second, third, and fourth are all separated by a second, if not more. Then you got Cody McGorkle, who is closer to Dylan Good in less than 0.2 of a second. That is the closest battle we got for any sort of position right now. We said before the race that these drivers were either going to race aggressively or conservatively, and it looks like we found out the answer pretty quickly. They're racing really conservatively. I mean, we figured Matt Grunberg would be up at the front by now, and he's still in 9th place. The only reason why he gained a position is because Brett Jones is having some issues out on this track, just not finding the correct rhythm that everybody else has been running. Yes, shut up, Siri. Jordan's been hanging on to the lead ever since the drop of the green flag. And he's been hanging on all throughout the day. He's made less mistakes than everybody else has. Oh, caution's out on the field. Jeff Gross is spun around. Let's go back and see what happened here. Running 10th at the time. Looks like he overdrove the corner, brushes the wall and loses it and hits the wall pretty hard. He keeps it off of everybody else, but he hits the wall with a little bit of force. That'll probably put him a couple laps down if everybody goes down pit road. Now this league has implemented the 2 incident rule. It helps make calmer racing. 2 incidents and you'll be kicked from the race. We may not see that rule into effect tonight because of how many people there is versus how many laps there are. Plus, these drivers aren't going to be really aggressive tonight with the amount of laps that we have and the amount of drivers that we have. It's just not a lot. Drivers down pit road. Everybody went down pit road except for Brent, who has the free pass. And the drivers are coming off. Jordan will get off first. Todd second. William in third. Cody fourth. Kyle fifth. Michael in sixth. Artie in seventh. And Matt Grunberg in eighth. Dylan Gooden in ninth. And 10th place would be Jeff Gross, maybe? Yeah. Alright. Track info for tonight. It's less than a mile, but it's just over half a mile. And the weather for tonight, we have a nice cloudy conditions here. 69 degrees air temperature, 71 degrees track temperature. We got some northwest winds, excuse me, of 9 miles per hour. So we definitely have. So it definitely makes the cars a little looser than any other track. If it was sunny, it would be tight. Only one cautions for today, with the fastest lap going to the number 54, Matt Grunberg, at 21.293. And he is, no doubt, faster than everybody else. I can't tell you the exact order, but he's 2/10 faster than the second fastest driver, which would be Artie Peterson Jr. So he definitely has a fast car, but he, like many drivers, it's just a huge struggle to go anywhere in this track once it comes to the inside lane or whatever, because you're going to have to rely on these drivers making a mistake in order to make it move, because that inside line does not have enough marbles to get anywhere for position. Well, we're going to restart here with 24 laps completed. We'll be a quarter of the way done, ladies and gentlemen. It's gone by fast already. We still have 11 drivers still out on track with a chance to win this race. Started with 11, we still have 11, even with an incident out on the track with Jeff Gross, excuse me. We still have 11 drivers. Green flag back in the air. Drivers wasting no time once the pace car went down pit road to get back to racing. Rightfully so. Cody McGorkle is probably in his best spot since Daytona in third place. It's a good job by him. He's been having like crazy struggles all throughout this season. This is his best spot right now where he's sitting. Sitting in third place. His best spot since Daytona, that is. Ooh, William got a little shaky in turn number 1. That'll make Michael Budd capitalize. He just got a little shaky. And that almost costed him roughly several spots, if not the entire race for him. Now these drivers are starting to race noticeably more aggressive than on that long run. There's Grunberg, one of the fastest cars on the track, making that move underneath Michael Budd, and that kind of shows you how that inside line works. Just you let out of the throttle a lot more, and you can't get back to the throttle as quick as everybody else because of how sharp the turn is. As you can see, it kind of works like a super speedway when it comes to drafting. People are gonna overpower you on one lane or the other. It's really hard to compare this track to like any other tracks when it comes to the grooves, because you would never think that at a short track a high line would be more usable than the low line. At Bristol, the high line is definitely more usable, but people can use the inside line to their advantage at the same time, whereas at this track, you cannot use that inside to your advantage. You gotta only use the middle and high line. And if you use the middle line, it's basically just using the inside line, except you could barely hang on more than you can when you stick it to the inside. You have to pass people on the outside, which is difficult because everybody hangs on to the outside, which creates for not a lot of passing opportunities. You could hit the bottom of the track as much as you can, but the only way you're going to really make a pass is by letting the driver above you make a mistake by pushing him up into the fence or some other way, shape, or form. You can look at another example with Cody McGorkle trying to make a move for second, but he just can't make the move underneath Todd Guess. He can make a move above him. He just can't make the move. He can't make the move below him because of the amount of grip that's on each of these lanes. The high line is just way too powerful for these drivers because they're out of the throttle a lot more and a lot less and all that sort of stuff. Hey William, just letting you know, we're not in Eldoris. You don't need to drift it into these corners, man. He hangs on. Kept it straight by using the wall. But man, he dirt tracked it into that corner. Now Dylan Gooden is trying to use it to his advantage. He's throwing it in there and sliding up the track, kind of like at Eldora, where he throws it in, slides up, and then gets out of the throttle. But if you look at his speeds through everybody else, he's out of the throttle a lot more. He was in the 80s, the higher 80s, lower 90s through that corner. Through most of it, or at least like some part of it that would be a lot more than, you know, you would compare it to like Jordan or something like that. Somebody who uses that middle line a lot more. Now probably once we get more into these runs, maybe the grip will shoot down to the bottom of the track. Maybe something like that. I would probably speculate that at almost every race. And they're going to be oh my god, that was tight racing right there. They were about to go 3 wide for that 3rd place spot. And I thought one of them was going to get turned because of how aggressive that was, but luckily they kept that straight. But Williams going to lose. He's going to lose 4th, and he's going to fall back to 5th. He can't. He's not able. He's holding. He's fighting. Give it a fighting shot. But like I said, the only way you're going to get that position is you gotta be really, really, really aggressive with that. He somehow hangs on. Barely. The gap between 1st and 2nd's 2.5 seconds, so it's not like we're missing anything much up at the front. This is basically the closest battle all race long, basically. The battle for the 2nd spot here up at the front with Cody McGorkle and Todd in the 4. Cody in the 2, Todd in the 4. They're hard battling for the 2nd spot. None can be battling more than what Williams been doing pretty much all race long. He's been battling to keep his positions, all that sort of stuff. And that cross, wow, what a move by Artie with that crossover move. And it sticks somehow. Williams checked up a lot. He almost hit that wall because of how tight it was. That's the problem. That's the one thing about Lucas Oil is it's so hard. It's tight racing that this is one of the biggest tracks examples of side-by-side action will lead to the leaders pulling out a lot. It's pulling away a lot more because of how much clean air they'll be in and all that sort of stuff. Because, you know, at places like Las Vegas, it's, you know, noticeable there. But this is where it's most notable because William basically gave us a great example of that. He had to let out tremendously because of, you know, his battling and all that sort of stuff. He wants to survive this race as much as the people around him, but, you know, you gotta let out of the throttle a lot more so you don't end up using your front bumper to get into the back bumper of somebody. Ooh, a little contact there between Cody McGorkle and Artie Peterson Jr. That got really close. These two are dooring each other. Oh, in the wall, Cody McGorkle. Getting pretty antsy up here at the front. I mean, the race started to be. These drivers started the race conservatively. Now they're just going at it with each other. I mean, it's almost past the halfway point. I expected it. I expected it in the race for these drivers to be more aggressive, but I didn't expect it to be this early because we're not even past halfway yet. These drivers are wanting to hit each other, bump each other, and spit each other out. This view behind basically shows how tight the action is off of the 88 truck. How tight this racing is when compared to other places on the track. Wow, that got tight. They had to go past the lap car of Brett Jones, and that got really tight off that corner. Williams in the wall, Michael Budd's underneath them. This is just crazy racing. Unfortunately, we don't have like an actual roof camera. The only thing we got is the gyro camera. Which is unfortunate because I really like a nice roof camera. Yeah, we also got that, and then this, but there's not much we can really choose. I mean, we got the nose, but it's not a roof camera. Now it's starting to look like it's going to be a little more conservative of racing here, but don't know that for sure right now. Well, the gap is starting to decrease, now less than 2.5 seconds. Still almost, yeah, still over 2 seconds though, so. Oh, Cody got on the wall right there pretty hard. Looked like William was intimidating him a little bit, and it made him drive the corner a little more deeper than he wanted to. Now you can see what William's trying to do here is he's trying to get up to the outside, trying to make a move, and he just can't make it. Can't tell how tight this battle is right now. You can try it from right here. Wrong one. Caution's out on the track. Gooden is around, and Poker Free is also around in the 7. Oh, Gruber got a piece of that action too. Let's look at it from this angle here. Get a glimpse of it. Oh, Dylan Gooden. Yeah, just threw it in the corner way too hard. Slides up the track. Oh my god, that is heavy overcorrect. Hard into the wall, getting into Matt, getting into Kyle. Oh my god. That was heavy overcorrect. Snap. Oh my god. Nobody would expect that heavy of a oversteer. Look at that. Look at how snappy that got. Just spam. Like nobody hit him. He just completely snapped sideways. Look at how look at it. He's drifting it like a dirt car, and then just randomly snaps all the way back. Well, that pretty much just that was crazy. I think Todd Guest got out of pit road first. Yeah, Jordan just didn't have a good enough stop. I think he's in second though. Todd will be in the lead. Kyle is still out on the track. Well, that's not going to be a good night for Matt. I know there was a couple people here that were actually hoping that Matt would do good tonight, but it looks like that's going to be the complete opposite. Well, I think now we're only down to 10 drivers in this race now. Actually, it'd be 9 drivers left if since Grudberg's pretty much out of it right now. That was a pretty hard hit I would say so. Well, we're gonna get set to go back racing here. Todd Guest will have the lead here. It's the lead change up. Be the first time that we're gonna get a restart without Jordan being up on the lead here. So we'll see what happens here. But we only have 9 drivers that are still in contention to win this race. Something like that. Pace car is off. Todd Guest will control the restart and when he goes. And there he goes. Green flag back in the air. Pretty much only 6 drivers lined up for this restart. Everybody else was pretty far back. Looking like they're going to race it a little more conservatively than the drivers up here that decided to race it out. Got a battle for the lead here. Jordan going underneath Todd, trying to take the lead away. Jordan's had a lot of short track experience. And he's going to be... Oh, wow. Still side by side. It is quite a dead even strike here between these two drivers. Two of the fastest drivers today. 1 and 2 all day. Jordan trying to take back the lead. Trying to not make a mistake here. He's hanging on. They're still side by side for the lead here. And it's going to give the drivers behind them great advantages as well. Quarterback, oh, Jordan is around. Oh, kept it off of the wall. Oh, but he still hits Brett Jones. Brett Jones has a little bit of damage, but oh, that was quite a save to not hit the wall by anything. Look at Jordan just oversteered the corner and spun it out. Look at it one more time here. Just oversteered the corner and spun it out, but luckily he snapped it back. Luckily for him, he was able to snap it back in time and get it back rolling out on the track. Well, you hate to see this for the 54 truck for tonight. Came into this race the dominating driver of tonight, and you can see by the ticker how his night's going to end. It's not going to end too well. Well, we have 40 laps left. We're almost 3/4 of the way done. Just not a good night for Grunberg. He just got caught up in an accident. "61 laps down, and we'll have 62 completed when we cross the line again." Eight laps led so far for Todd Guess, but we all know who has the most laps led, and nobody will be able to not have the most laps led now. Jordan has led enough laps that he's in a nice position right now as long as he can finish in the top 3. I know he wants to win it because he's been in the lead pretty much all race long. That's where he likes to be, so we'll see what happens there. I believe Kyle will get the free pass as well. If not, the next caution he will. Well, he's back on track, so at least he's not completely finished. He's not done yet, but he is 11 laps down. So Grunberg is still 11 laps down, but doesn't mean that he's going out without a fight. He can get a top 10 finish just by running 2 more laps, so we'll see what happens here on this restart here. Todd Guest taking the inside lane, which is quite a surprise, especially with how that inside lane is at this track. Better hope to God that the person on the out, you can quickly get a run on the guy on the outside. I'm pretty sure the leader has their lead choice, but oh well. I don't think they do, actually. I may be wrong. I figured they would. Well, now when we get this restart, it'll be Todd Guess and Cody McGorkle on the front row. Row 2 would be William Krasuska and Michael Budd. We're getting set to go back racing here. Green flag back in the air. And Todd gets a nice jump out on Cody. And since he doesn't have that 21 in his sights, he can pretty much pull away with this one for just for a little while. Michael Budd's struggling a little bit. Get anywhere? Well, I don't think I should be talking right now because Cody McGorkle is actually getting a little closer to Todd's back bumper. Now remember, Cody's actually been battling quite a lot with Todd, especially in the earlier portions of the race. However, he just wasn't able to get, past him. He was able to get up next to him, just wasn't able to pass him. Now it looks like, since it actually matters, we may see Cody be a little more aggressive. Because this is for the lead. This ain't for second anymore. This is for the lead. You got William in third place here, trying to win in Lucas Oil. It looks like the gap for the lead is starting to build up a little bit here. It looks, that's not good for Cody. He's going to lose a lot more time after pounding that wall. I was going to say, it's going to have to take a mistake by Todd to get Cody a chance for the lead. But it may not be even Cody who may even battle for the lead at this rate. It may be William or Artie Peterson Jr., the one, or even Michael Budd, because those three are right next to Cody, and they're battling for that second spot. And Cody is just having a hard time right now. He's been hitting every sort of the wall, and Todd Guess just spun it out. Guess our leader has just spun himself around. Overdrove the, I don't want to say he overdrove it, just lost all the grip on entry. And spun it out. Wow. I didn't think our leader would actually spin out in this race, but anything can happen when you're racing. All right, when we restart, we'll get 24 to 25 laps to go, maybe 26. And we'll see what happens with William in the lead, Artie Peterson in second, Jeff Gross third, Brett Jones. Brett Jones has been struggling all race long, and he's up in the fourth place now. Kyle Frey in fifth, Cody McGorkle in sixth, Michael Budd in seventh. And Jordan McEvoy's day looks like he's done. Jordan looks like he's done for today's race. Looks like it. Well, we'll get ready for this restart here. And we started with 11 drivers, and we're now down to 8. Technically 9 if we're counting Grunberg. But once the lap counter reaches 84, if he doesn't get all of those laps back, he's not going to be able to have the chance to win it.
Yeah, I've called it for the night. So I'm going to join you up here in the booth for the rest of the race.
All right. It's fine by me. Go right on ahead. This has been a pretty, I want to say, yeah, alright. I'll say it's been pretty bipolar for these drivers. They started conservatively, and then they went crazy aggressive, and then they went conservative again, and now we're back under caution now. And now, especially since we're going to have another 25 laps, it's now go time for most, if not all of these drivers to get some sort of positions.
Yeah, something happened there. I don't know. It was like the last 5 laps of the stage, everyone just went crazy. But yeah, I would look to see all these guys, you know, gunning for this win here.
Or 3/4 of the way, almost 3/4 of the way done, especially with only 25 laps left, close to 25, 26 left. It's definitely gonna be crazy nonetheless. If it got crazy during the last 5 laps of the stage, it's gonna be crazy for the last 10 laps of the race.
Oh, Will getting a good jump in turn 3. Seen a lot of guys starting the race early here, or the restarts.
And it looks like Artie didn't fall for it there. He's still battling side by side.
Yeah, it looks like Will tried to catch Artie sleeping there at the start, but he's hanging tough with him on the inside so far.
It's just very unfortunate that inside lane doesn't have much grip, as you can see. Oh, no. Cody and Artie getting into it with each other. They keep it straight somehow.
Yeah, no caution.
That is insane. And they only allowed William to gain only a second, which is very surprising. They slammed into each other, and somehow Artie is still only less than a second off. Oh no!
We got Jeff Gross.
Yeah, Jeff Gross is around. I saw them go 3 wide. I knew that wasn't going to be good.
Man, that's a shame for Jeff Gross. He was having a good run too tonight. He was up there in about the 4th position.
Yeah, it just got a little loose up on the outside, and just ended up losing it, looks like. No, he had contact with Michael Budd. A little bit of contact. That's what got him out of shape. Try to keep it.
Looks like a little contact with the 39 there on the front stretch. Maybe the 39 didn't realize that he was going to be on the outside or so far down, but unfortunate there for Jeff Gross.
He was having a good day. He did have a little incident earlier in the race, but he overcame that. He was up at the front of the field for pretty much up until now, so that puts us down to 7 drivers. And Brett Jones has been having quite the struggle today. He's been lapped pretty much every time we've had a green flag, a long green flag run, that is. And he's back. He's surviving. He's up to the 7th spot. So all you got to do is just survive and gain the positions, not by driving aggressively, just driving conservatively. That's how you get a good spot in at a track that you're not really good at. You just gotta play conservatively. But if you are really good at a track, then you race hard, of course. But
yeah, it looks like with this, you know, there only being 7 cars on the lead lap here, everyone feels like they have a chance to win it here. And you know, with 20 to go on a short track like this, those laps stick by real quick.
well, these drivers are not done being aggressive, that's for sure.
Yeah, I would look for some more aggressive racing here in the last 20 laps. That's for sure. I don't expect anything to change. Probably maybe even a less give and take here. But let's talk about Will and see if he's gonna start him out at 3 this time again, or if he's actually gonna wait until the front, or until they get on the front stretch this time, because it seems like starting out at 3 didn't work out too well for him.
You know, he tried to catch Artie off guard, but it just didn't work, and Artie was able to keep up with him until him and Cody got into it with each other, which I'm still surprised they managed to keep the gap from the lead all the way to still less than a second. I know it's still a second's quite a gap, but we've seen gaps as far as big as 2.5 seconds on long green flag runs, especially when they were doing slamming into each other sideways and going as slow as like 60 miles per hour. I'm surprised they kept that gap and was able to track him down a little bit before the caution came out.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the one car have already didn't actually, get fully sideways on the front stretch and collect some more cars. I was surprised he was able to get it back straight and actually, stay 1 or below 1 second, like you said.
We're getting ready for this restart here, and when we go double file, it's always cluttered up. But I believe kind of looks like these drivers are a little more closer to each other than before. We'll see what happens here. When will William go?
I expect him to wait to the front stretch here.
Oh,
I think he learned his lesson last time.
whew. They were real antsy there. There he goes.
Oh, that's a good jump.
Yeah, that was. Notice before the restart, William was getting a
Forced loose in 1. And he saves it. No caution.
All right. I noticed that Artie and William were getting a little antsy with each other, nearly like trading paints with each other before rolling off. So that's how that's how aggressive these drivers are going to be. They're going to be really aggressive.
Yeah, I'd expect to see a few more drivers getting up into that wall in turns 1 and 2, just trying to push the limits to catch William there up in first.
Ooh, he did. Oh, William got a little loose on that entry there, but he's hanging on now. Now we've seen the leaders curse. We saw Jordan up at the front all day, and then he gets in. He spins out battling for the lead. Then we saw Todd in the 4 battling. He pulled away after Jordan spun out. Then he spun himself out. Nobody wants to be part of the leader's curse.
Yeah, I know. Earlier in the race, I saw Will getting a little loose in 1 and 2, and even 3 and 4. So we'll see if he can keep it under control here and ride out these last 14 laps for the win.
It's heart pumping when you got 14 laps and your car is unstable at most cases, and you don't know when it's gonna snap. Because we've seen it a lot today that it doesn't matter what these drivers do, they'll do the same things, but the truck doesn't want to do the same things as every lap. It wants to snap loose.
Yeah, for sure. I know whenever I'm in the lead, I'm always looking at the, laps to go, and I'm like, really, there's still, 12 laps to go, and there should be like 2 laps to go.
As the leader of the race, you want the race to go by faster, but as the driver who's in second, they want it to go on longer.
Yep. Looks like everybody's really spread out here, and so far, looks like about half a second back to the 1, half a second back to the 39 and 3rd. Nobody really racing side by side here.
Surprisingly, this looks to be one of the most calmest restarts that we've had all day long, and we have like 11 laps to go, and that doesn't sound like what drivers would do. It sounds like what.
Oh, is the 88 in the wall?
Oh yeah, it looked like it. He was either in the wall or he lost a ton of speed, but Artie's getting real close. 10 laps to go.
If Artie's going to make a move, he's going to have to make it quick. 10 laps at this, small track here is...
It goes by real quick.
Yep. And then plus, making the pass, that's going to...
That takes... Yeah, exactly, because no matter where you go, you can't make the move to the inside unless the driver on the outside makes a huge mistake, which, nobody wants to see that happen. They want to race nice and clean.
Something interesting to watch for here is maybe the 1 looks to give the 88 of William the bumper, maybe going into one of these corners to get the win.
That is true. The bump and run is it's entirely possible here, but Artie has to get up to the back bumper of him quickly. He lost a ton of space there, but William.
He's definitely not going to be able to give the bump and run this far back.
No. If William keeps getting the wall, there is a possibility that could be the case, because he got on the wall in turns 1 and 2. It looks like 1 and 2 is Williams' kryptonite. Looks like, because he keeps getting in the wall. Artie gets in the wall there on the front stretch.
Yeah, something I'm noticing here with the drivers' entry into 1 and 2, they're entering about a lane higher than they normally would, and I think that's really contributing to the amount of trucks in the wall in 1 and 2 compared to earlier in the race. Just not as much room to wash up as compared to entering a lane lower.
Correct. It's probably one of the few tracks that it's hard to race in all race long. Take the K&Ns to Atlanta, it's another example of this. It's hard to control these cars, and only a select few can really master this kind of track and in these kinds of these trucks and all this sort of stuff, because of how tight the truck is and then how loose it could get randomly. You can't predict when it'll do what, so it's hard to master it. And it looks like tonight a few drivers may not have mastered it, but a few drivers may have learned how to at least somewhat control it.
Yeah, and I think it's really just, whoever lucked out to be in the front with the last restart is, going to end up taking this home here.
And it looks like that may be the 88 of William here. But Artie's kind of
could have just jinxed him too. He
true.
Here in the last
That is true, because Artie has been gaining a little bit of time. Gained a lot of time in that corner, it looked like. Maybe lost it a little bit. But it's going to have to come down.
Already driving it in there.
Yeah.
3 and 4.
He only has a couple more shots left.
Yeah, it's looking about 4 more turns.
4 more opportunities. When we come back to the line, it'll be the white flag. William has to negotiate two more sets of corners here, or one more set of corners.
Gonna be the longest lap of Williams' life right here.
Exactly. Average lap times 22 seconds. It's gonna feel like a minute for William here.
On the one dives it in, 3 and 4.
Oh, can't get it. Can't get it though. Out of turn 4, William will win here at Lucas Oil.
What a drive for William. He really needed this. Looking at the points, he's outside the chase right now, so this win will definitely be a big booster for him.
Correct. With 32 laps today, he started 6th. Definitely a great win for him. He was able to get the restart after what happened to Todd and Jordan, and he was able to, after that, take home victory here.
Another guy that had a good run tonight, Kyle Pokrefke, he had some trouble early on and found himself a lap down, but he coming home 4th place. What a rebound for him.
Exactly. Not a bad night for Kyle there. Especially he got I think he got involved in some incidents today, so
Yep, this is definitely going to be a good step in the right direction for Kyle. I know he's had some trouble in the last couple of weeks finishing up front in the top 5, but he shows speed, but he's just got to put together the full race to
correct.
get these points for the chase.
I know William has been struggling a lot throughout this season. He hasn't had great finishes all season. Now this one here at Lucas Oil definitely has to feel amazing to William. Well, let's see if we can bring up, we'll bring up William and Jordan up here. Talk to them. William, this is Taylor. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, what a race for you tonight, man. What was your mindset through those last 10 laps, knowing that Artie could have put the bumper to the back of you at any point in time?
Must have been a full moon out or something. But yeah, I definitely was starting to get worried because he was starting to catch up little by little. I knew he was gonna dive bomb it at least some in last lap.
Yeah, it looked like you got in the wall there a few times on that last 20 lap run. What was your mindset after you got in the wall a little bit and you see the one getting a little bit closer? Uh, you maybe like drive it in a little bit more cautiously next time, or are you just going for it no matter what?
Oh, yeah, going for it no matter what. Just trying to hold on, trying not to look back in my mirror. I did that a couple times, screwed me up, but
All right, so it was a great. It was a great race for you all in all. You started 6, you gained 5 positions. Did you think you were able? Do you think you were able to win this race today if it had been for the several instances with the leaders and stuff like that?
no, we were all battling literally all over the track. We had great battles going on. We're like fifth, fourth, third. So I wasn't expecting this.
All right, we'll go ahead and.
All right, well, good win, Will. It's good to see you back in victory lane, and this will be a good step in you getting back into the chase going forward. I'm not sure how many races are left till the chase, but definitely a good step going forward, and good luck to you next week.
Thank you. First win.
Not bad.
All right, let's see if we can get Jordan in here.
All right. Jordan, do you have a copy, buddy?
What's up, guys?
Man, terrible luck today. You led the most laps, but you just got involved in.
Self-spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. We were battling hard, man, and I just, got underneath him and couldn't keep it straight. So that's how it goes.
Yeah, the leader. Yeah, there was leader's curse all day. You self spun, and then Todd self spun, costed both of you guys the race and good finishes. So
You
Right.
definitely showed speed early though.
exactly.
The most laps, and you had a good 2 seconds I think on the four there early on, and um, just I guess you got in a little too deep one and two, but all in all, I mean, you showed good speed, and that's definitely going to be a good confidence builder going forward. Knowing that you can lead these races and maybe put together a full race here coming soon.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. It'll be fun to be fast and be up there racing with you, Matt.
Yeah, I can definitely tell you from personal experience, getting the first one is always the hardest, but once you get that monkey off your back, so to say, the rest of them come much easier than the first one.
Yep, just got to get over those rookie mistakes. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So are you gonna retire and go to the broadcast booth, or what? What's the plans?
Well, as much fun as this was, broadcasting with Taylor, I think I'm going to have to return at the track next week at Charlotte. But, anytime that I get involved in an early accident, I'll definitely hop in here with Taylor.
It's always fun in the broadcast booth. Taylor makes it fun.
Oh, for sure.
Hey,
I enjoyed
welcome
it.
in. Welcome anytime. I mean, racing in these races are fun. Nonetheless, races in general is fun, but you know, being a broadcaster adds a little more excitement to it because you get to talk about stuff, you get to see stuff, see how drivers race. You can even use what you see on the track to help you on the track. And even as a broadcaster, it can help you out in the racing world. But either way, I mean, it's always fun broadcasting races. Even if it's not the most professional, but it's fun nonetheless. So
Yep, I enjoyed, just letting myself into the broadcast booth.
right,
Left the door open, walked in here, but
Sat down.
picked up a mic. Yep, sat down.
Did your speeches there and let everybody know what was going on. It's fun, man. Looks like fun.
exactly. Um,
Right. But yeah, Jordan, you had a great run early. You showed a lot of speed, and
Well, I appreciate it, Matt. Appreciate the kind words. And
It's just
next
a
week is Charlotte, so that'll be
right.
fun.
And
Yep.
Charlotte's always a great track for these trucks. If
A lot of room to pass.
right, a lot more room at Charlotte than it was here, so we'll see a
Yeah.
lot more passing there than we did tonight, and hopefully not too many self spins because I know
Yeah.
Charlotte and the trucks can be really loose depending on how the conditions are. So we'll see how we'll see what Charlotte has for weather, and we'll see what how loose or tight the truck would be, and so on and so forth. You know.
Right. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see next week what goes on.
Early thoughts on Charlotte. What are you thinking here, Jordan?
Well, depends how many racers we have. We'll probably have, hopefully, quite a bit. If it's not that much, then it'll be pretty good because there'll be a lot of room to pass and a lot of room for us to race. So it'll be pretty good. I'm sure it'll be at night, so there'll be a lot of grip. So that'll be fun.
Night
I think
Charlotte
the
is.
question the audience was wanting to know is: you taking home the win?
Oh yeah, duh. I mean, if you let me.
All right, Jordan. Well, good race tonight. We'll see you next week at Charlotte. Thanks
Cool,
for
bro.
stopping by.
Yep. Good job tonight,
Yep.
Thank you.
broadcasting.
All right. So let's go ahead and run through the finishing results here for tonight's race. Even though we only had 11 drivers, still had quite a bit of action nonetheless. So go ahead and run through the results. William will get in first place. Artie Peterson Jr. in second. Michael Butt in third. Kyle Puckerfree. I still can't say that name even after you said it.
Kyle Pekrefke.
Progreffi in fourth, Cody McGorkle in fifth, Todd Guess in sixth, Brett Jones in seventh, Jordan McGeeboy in eighth, Jeff Gross in ninth, and Matt Gruberg will round out the top 10. And I guess I'll let you say 11th place.
11th place, Dylan Gooden. Not the night that we wanted here for the 54 Jegs Toyota Tundra, but we built a good enough cushion throughout the first few races throughout the season. So I think Dylan was second in points. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
But
he was.
so with us having both bad nights, I don't think it'll hurt too bad in the points. I think I've built a good enough cushion, so we'll definitely look to bring the speed back at Charlotte and hopefully return back to victory lane.
Hey, even though you had one bad night this week and you didn't get the win at Eldora, going back to Charlotte should be like nothing. Should be like piece of cake. So.
Yep, I'm definitely looking forward. Mile-and-a-half tracks are our bread and butter this season, so
You
definitely looking forward to it.
just haven't had much luck on short tracks. I mean, you won Bristol, but you had Eldora, and then you had Eldora, then you had tonight, which weren't the best of nights.
Yep, these common thing with those two tracks is there was no room to pass, and if you did try to pass,
You weren't going anywhere.
Yep, and the guy on the top was gonna fight you, and if there was someone behind you, he would end up taking your spot. So
That's how
it's
it.
gonna be good to get back to a mile and a half where if you try to make a pass, you don't lose 3 or 4 positions.
That's exactly how it is. So at Charlotte, we're definitely going to see a lot more passing. People using the high line and the low line. It's how it's always going to be at Charlotte. Unfortunately, here there was only one lane, and that was the high lane. You couldn't really pass on the low lane unless the driver on the outside made a huge mistake, which necessarily didn't happen a lot tonight, even though we saw it a couple times for people passing on the inside. But nonetheless, I mean, still great racing nonetheless. Battles up at the front, aggressive racing, especially with 11 drivers. I said before the start of the race, it doesn't take a lot of drivers to make a good race, and that's what we saw tonight.
Yep, definitely. It was a good race. Even though we got taken out early, it was definitely fun to watch, and I expect to see some more great racing next week at Charlotte.
All right, and we'll go ahead and conclude this broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. So next week will be Charlotte, and it won't be for the All-Star race. It'll just be the actual points-paying race itself. So we'll look forward to that. I mean, Charlotte's always fun. So we'll see next week at Charlotte Motor Speedway.